Hi, so for today we are going to talk about superposition method in electrical circuits 1. This is a continuation of our study about circuits. Last time we have discussed mesh analysis, nodal analysis. So if you haven't watched that video, please do watch it before watching this. Okay, so let's get started. Superposition method. Okay. So the importance of superposition method lies in the concept that if there are many sources, let's say voltage source or current source in a circuit, we are going to analyze the effect of each of these sources in order to get what we are solving. For example, we are going to turn off one sources, or we are going to turn off all of the sources except for one, and then analyze the circuit and then solve for the problem or for the current or for the voltage that is being asked. And after that, we're going to turn it off and turn on another one at a time. So that is called the superposition, so that the effect of these individual sources should be added in order for us to conclude that that is what is being asked. Let's say current or voltage in the problem. So let's get started. Superposition principle states that the voltage or current through an element in a linear circuit is the algebraic sum of the voltages across or current through that element due to each independent source acting alone. That's what I'm saying a while ago, that we are going to get the algebraic sum or the effects of each and every independent source, okay, whether it may be voltage or current. Okay, so that we will come into a conclusion that this is what we are trying to find, the voltage or the current. Okay, so each independent sources, take note, contributes to the current or to the voltage, vice versa. Okay, and when using superposition, okay, number one, we consider one independent source at a time. So other sources must be turned off. For example, we have two sources in the circuit. One source, let's say voltage source and current source. The voltage source should be left open and the current source should be turned off. Okay? So, and then analyze the circuit. And then after analyzing the circuit, okay, the next one, we are going to turn off the voltage source and then open the current source. Okay? Just let the current source be there in the circuit. Okay, so if we have three, okay, we are going to analyze one at a time. So turn off the two and then remain the one, okay, at one at a time, and then analyze the effect on the circuit. So if we have a voltage source, we are going to replace it with short. In other words, we are going to short the voltage source where it belongs. And then if we have a current source and we're going to turn it off, we are going to replace it with an open circuit. Okay, so number two, dependent sources are left intact because they are controlled by circuit variables. So whenever we see dependent sources, meaning it's either current sources, current dependent sources, or voltage dependent sources, we must left them. Okay, we must leave them, I mean, just as it is. Okay, and analyze the circuit with one or two or three sources turned off while the other is turned on. So steps to apply the superposition. Number one, you are going to turn off all independent sources. All of the independent sources must be turned off except for one source. And that is what we are going to analyze, okay, in this circuit. So again, if you have two sources, okay, you must turn off one. If you have three sources, you must turn off the two. I'm talking about independent sources. Okay, find the output voltage or current due to that active source using method of analysis. Let's say KVL, mesh, or even nodal analysis. Okay, so number two, repeat step one for each of the independent sources. So if you are done already with one source, it's finally move on to the second source. So finally, turn off the first source and turn on the second source. And if you have 3 sources, again, after analyzing the second source, you turn off the second source and then you go back or you go to the third source. Okay, and depending on how many sources you have in a circuit. So number 3, find the total contribution by adding algebraically. So simply, if we are looking for a voltage, the voltage at that resistor, across a resistor, we have many sources, let's say 2. So we are just going to add, okay, the effect of that source independently to come to a conclusion that that is the voltage at that resistor. So in other words, V equals V sub 1 plus V sub 2. V sub 1 is the voltage due to the first source, and V sub 2 is the voltage due to the second source. If you add that, that is the voltage that is being asked in the problem when both sources are open. Are open. Not open circuit, but turned on. So for example, let us go to our example. Okay, use the superposition method, okay, in order to find V in the circuit. So we are asked to find a V here. So as we can see here, we have 2 sources. We have the voltage source, we have the voltage source, then we have the current source. So first, we need to turn off one. So we can turn off first the current source by replacing this with an open circuit and analyze what is the voltage, okay, due to these 6 volts. And after analyzing, okay, we must turn off this by replacing the voltage source as short, okay, and then we let the 3 ampere current source, okay, dictate or solve the voltage across here due to the current source. And if we have already the both of the answers to that, we must just add them algebraically, and that is the answer for the voltage across these 4 ohms. Okay, so in order for me to solve this, I'm going to copy paste this. By the way, this is from Electrical Circuits by the book of Sadiku. Okay, so let us try to solve this. So by superposition method, okay, I'm just having a V. The problem is, what is the voltage across that 4 ohms? So I'll label as V sub 1, okay, plus V sub 2. V sub 1 is the voltage due to 6 volts, and V sub 2 is the voltage due to 3 amperes. So the very first step in solving superposition, what we're going to do is, the first step is to turn off 1. So let's say I'm going to turn off for V1, I'm going to turn off 3 amperes. So the circuit will look like this. 3 ampere source, dependent source, is a current source. And according to our discussion a while ago, a current source must be replaced by an open circuit. So I have 8 ohms here, I have 4 ohms here. So this is 6 volts, this is 8 ohms, this is 4 ohms. I'm going to find the voltage V sub 1 here due to the 6 volts. And I'm going to replace 3 ohms with an open circuit, so that our circuit looks like this. So if we analyze it, okay, this is just an open circuit, so your circuit would simply look like this. It's just a series of what? Of 8 ohms and then the 4 ohms. Okay, and we are asked to find for the V1 here. So by voltage division, it's pretty obvious we can use voltage division here, voltage divider formula. So the V1 here would be, okay, the 6 volts all multiplied by 4 ohms all over 4 ohms plus 8 ohms. That will be our voltage division. And in this case, that would be 2 volts. Now, 2 volts is not the answer. That is the voltage due to the 6 volts. Okay, this is what we have got, what we have solved. Okay, for V2, V sub 2, turn off the 6 volts. So if I turn off the 6 volts, what will happen, since this is a voltage source, I will replace that simply by a short circuit. So I have 8 ohms here, I have 4 ohms here. So 8 ohms, we have 4 ohms here. And the effect would be V2. Then I have my current source here. So as you can see, I have my 3 amperes here. So as you can see, 4 ohms and 8 ohms are connected in parallel with the 3 amperes source. So what are we going to do is we are going to use current division to get the current through 4 ohms and then multiply it by the resistance so that we get the V2. So by current division, or the current divider formula, now we have what? So we have I2, let's say I2 is the current through resistor 4 ohms. Okay. So that I2 is the current through resistor 4 ohms, or let's say I sub 4 ohms. Okay. So what will happen? You have 3 amperes. So take note, what we are trying to get is the 4 ohms. So our numerator will be 8 ohms. Okay, it's different from voltage division, of which the voltage you are trying to find should be the numerator. In the current division, it's the opposite. So we are going to find or put the numerator on the other resistor that is parallel, not to the 4 ohms. So you have 8 ohms plus 4 ohms still. Okay. So if we do this, the current through the 4 ohm resistor, in our calculator, that would be 2 amps or 2 amperes. But we wish to get V2. So we have V2, we know the current, that should be I, or the current through the 4 ohms, multiplied by simply the resistance, which is 4 ohms. So we know that this is 2 amperes multiplied by 4 ohms. So that would be 8 volts. Okay? And that is not the answer. The answer is, by superposition, we're going to algebraically add the V1 and the V2 to get the V. The actual V in this circuit. That's the actual V. So therefore, V equals V sub 1 plus V sub 2. The result of V sub 1 will be 2 volts plus this is 8 volts. So definitely V is 10 volts. So the answer is V is 10 volts. Okay? So again, the very first step we did, we turn off one and then analyze the circuit because of that other sources. And after analyzing it, we turn off the other one and leave the other on. Okay? And then analyze the circuit and then add algebraically what is the voltage drop due to independent sources of 6 volt and 3 amperes. So that is for number 1. So for number 2, we are going to get the same process by superposition principle. Superposition principle. Okay, get the V sub O here. Okay, using superposition, get the V sub O or the voltage drop across the 2 ohms. Okay, using the superposition method. Okay, again, our solution starts with, we have V sub O. If we are going to analyze it, we have V sub 1. I labeled it as V sub 1 and V sub 2. And V sub 1 is what? Due to 10 volts. V sub 2 is due to 4 amperes. So that is our designation. Or you can interchange it You may use V prime plus V double prime. It's possible to indicate that V prime is due to 10 volts and V double prime is due to 4 amperes. It doesn't matter. You have to assign variables. Okay? So for number 1, we are going to turn off the 10 volts. Let's say, turn off the 10 volts. So if we do that, we have our 2 ohms here. We have our V1 here. Okay? That's because of the current source. So you have 3 ohms here. So you have a 4 amperes here. Okay, and you have 5 ohms here, and this will be replaced by short. So you have 5 ohms, you have 3 ohms. Okay, so we turn off the we turn off the 10 volts. Okay, so if we turn off the 10 volts, it is due to 4 amperes. So this must be V sub 2. Okay, so this must be V sub 2 because we labeled as V sub 2 as due to 4 amperes. Since we turn off the 10 volts, the 4 amperes is left, so that is V2. Okay, so analyzing the circuit below, okay, these two are connected in series. Okay, and of course, they are connected in parallel with the 4 amperes and at the same time the 5 ohms. So if I'm going to get, okay, the total resistance of this. So we know that series circuits, series resistors have the same what? Current. So if I'm going to get the resistor of that total resistance, that will be 3 ohms plus 2 ohms. So that's 5 ohms. So if I'm going to rewrite the circuit, that this will be look like this. So in the middle, you have what? At 4 amperes, and then you have also the 5 ohms here and the 5 ohms here. So these two are connected in parallel. Okay, these are connected in parallel. So this is simply current division again. So if you do current division, okay, it's obvious, pretty obvious that the answer is 2 amperes. Now, why did we add 3 ohms and 2 ohms? Again, from the principle that series circuit, okay, series resistors has the same what? They have the same current. So it's okay to simplify. So if I get the current here in 5 ohms, which is the combination of 3 ohms and 2 ohms, I can conclude that the current here in the 5 ohms is also the current here in 2 ohms. Okay, so that's why I combine. So by current division, it's pretty obvious what will be the answer. Okay, so it's 2. It's simply divided into 2 because they have the same resistance. But I will prove to you. Okay, so let's say that the current at 5 ohms. Okay, because that is our interest. The current there. Okay, so that we can get the current, and at the same time, if we use the Ohm's law, we just simply have to multiply it by the ohms, and that is the voltage. So I have 4 amperes. I have 5 ohms plus 5 ohms. Okay, so basically this is 2 amperes. So the current at 5 ohms, or the current at that resistor R, is 2 amperes. Such that if we go back, okay, if we go back, let's say this is now the 3 ohms, and this is now the 2 ohms, okay, the current that flows through these resistors is the same current that we have got because this is in series. So meaning 2 amperes here for 3 ohms, the same 2 amperes here in 2 ohms. And that's what we're going to find, the V2. The V2 is simply what? The current through the 2 ohms, okay, multiplied by the resistance itself. And the current through the 2 ohms, since they are connected in series, okay, so that would be what? 2 amperes multiplied by 2 ohms. So that is 4 volts. Okay? So we have V2 of 4 volts. Okay, that's not the answer. That is due to the current source, 4 amperes. Now, for V1, turn off again. Turn off the what? 10 volts. So 10 volts. So the circuit would look like this. So we have 3 ohms here. We are going to replace the current source as open. Then you have 5 ohms here, and then you have 10 volts here. So simply, if this is open, if this part is open, we have an open circuit here. So simply, we can rewrite this as this. So these are all in terms of series circuits. And we are asked to find for the V1 here, because V1 is due to the 10 volts. Okay? So as you can see here, they are all connected in series, and we have a voltage source. We know the total voltage is 10 volts. So by voltage divider, we have V1 equals 10 volts. We're asked to find for the voltage here, so we have 2 ohms as our numerator, all over 2 ohms plus 3 ohms plus 5 ohms. Okay, so that is simply, I think that is simply 5 volts or 2 volts also. So because 10 volts, and then you have 2 all over 10. Yeah, 2 all over 10. So this would be 2 volts. So, okay, algebraically, we're going to add the V naught or V sub 0 to find the total voltage. Okay, the voltage at these 2 ohms. So you have V1 and V2. So you have V1 is 2 volts plus the V2 is 4 volts. So you have 6 volts. So the answer here is 6 volts. Okay, that's the answer for our problem. Okay, so this is only a part 1. I still have 2 problems. So to make sure that you're going to be able to watch this, okay, I'll be uploading another video about this, and this problem that involves mesh, and this problem also that involves mesh. So again, if you learned something from this video, thank you so much for listening. This is superposition principle of electrical circuits 1, DC circuits. So again, this is Engineer Abad. See you again when I see you on the next video.